They took your time, your energy, your focus, but they don't get to keep it. Gave too much, gave it all. Watched myself hit the wall. Every yes that I said left me drained, left me dead. Built a life that wasn't mine, gave away too much time. Now I see what it cost, all the things that I lost. I've been quiet way too long, played it safe, played alone. But there's something breaking through, and it's louder than the truth. I take it back, my time, my life. No more living by their design. I take it back, starting today. I take it back, my voice, my name. I'm playing their little game. I've had enough, I draw the line. Everything that's mine is mine. All the doubt they put in me, all the things I couldn't see, all the fear that held me still was never stronger than my will. Now I'm done with standing still, done with living by their will. Every step I take from here is controlled, it's mine, it's clear. No more waiting for the sign, no more wasting what is mine. There's a shift inside my chest, and it's saying take it back. I take it back, my time, my life. No more living by their design. I take it back, starting today. I take it back, my voice, my name. I'm playing that little game. I've had enough, I draw the line. Everything that's mine is mine. Yeah. You feel that? That's control coming back. That's clarity. That's power. That's you remembering who you remembering. Take it back. Take it back right now. Take it back right now. Take control, stand proud. Take it back right now. Take control, stand proud. No more fear, no more doubt. This is where you break out. I take it back, my time, my life. No more living by their design. I take it back, my time, my life. No more living by their design. I take it back, starting today. I take it back, I'm playing their little game. I've had enough, I draw the line. Everything that's mine is mine. They don't decide anymore. You do. Take it back. Yeah. Life hits hard, but we don't stay there. Every fall, every break, every risk, every mistake. Felt the weight, felt the pain. Thought we'd never rise again. Knocked down more than once or twice. Paid the cost, paid the price. But there's something deep inside that just won't let it die. When the world says stay down, we hear a different sound. It's calling us to stand and take it back again. falling. It's about what you do when you hit the ground. We rise up, stand tall. No more fear, no more fall. Back again, stronger now. We don't stay down. We rise again. Through the loss, through the pain within. Every fall just fuels the fire. We come back stronger. We go higher. We don't stay down. We won't break. Every hit is a chance we take. Through the storm, through the fight, we stand up every time. We fall, we learn, we rise.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to tonight's Zoom meeting. As usual, we start off our Monday nights or the week. Sorry, I'm just moving my microphone here because it's going to get knocked over, especially when I start getting excited and start speaking. My hands start talking and then my hands are going to knock things out. But folks, just to let you know, my voice is still not 100%. I was attacked by a frog in my throat for the last 2 weeks. But I do believe it's a little bit better tonight. So I'm hoping that you can hear me a little bit better than last. On Friday, was it? Yeah, Friday. That I think some people were still saying it was sounding not so great. So I'm hoping, like I said, I've also moved my microphone closer to me. So I'm hoping everyone can hear me. Thank you. Good afternoon from Suriname. Just rename yourself, please. The one that just messaged us now. Z2 something. Just rename yourself to your proper name, please, so we can see who you are. We've also got a Samsung SMA165F. Please rename yourself so we can see who you are properly. We don't want the room full of unknown people. So if we can just please respect the room rules and rename ourselves, please. So thank you. There's just two phone names. If we can just rename ourselves, please. Rename ourselves to our proper names and not our phone names, please. Alright, so folks, I just want to get my screen share on for the presentation at the moment. And then I will start shortly. So in the next minute or so, let's just invite people. I'm going to, I'll just say optimize. Alright, so let me just see if you can all see what I'm seeing. All right. Okay, so Rafiwa and Robert, I'll just ask you guys to carry on forward with just checking on the people in the room, please. I'm going to basically take the list off my screen so I can present. So thank you for the assistance there. Folks, our two leaders, Robert and Rafiwa, are doing very, very well. Robert does more of the support work and also builds his team. Rafiwa is building a team as well from her Cape Town base. She is one of our top leaders on the leaderboard. She's featuring quite high up, and one of her team members is even in number 1 position the last I checked today. So she is actually allowing others to learn from her, and the others are even taking the opportunity to do a great job. Now, yes, we're talking about affiliates here, but remember, everything starts from what we're going to talk about tonight, which is the shareholders presentation. So I'm going to go straight into it. If anyone does have a question, please take down the question, and then I will open up at the end for any questions or testimonies or any comments you have. We will open the floor up later for you. So please just bear with me. Let's get through the presentation, and then I will answer questions or open up for any comments later or testimonies. All right. So Aureus Alliance Holdings. Okay, sorry, what are we talking about? We're talking about Aureus Alliance Holdings for those that have not seen this presentation or heard about the business. So Aureus Alliance Holdings, as you can see on the emblem here, and it looks like an upside down umbrella. So the name Holdings already tells you that it's going to be a holding company for many different ventures which is in the pipeline. All right, at the moment we're talking about our core venture being the mining, which will be taking real minerals out of the ground. More so gold is our main one. So when we say we are doing real gold, real profits, that's exactly what it is. It's real gold being taken out of the land like mining normally would happen, but I will explain what type of mining. Let me not jump the gun on that, but it's real gold that we're taking out of the land, and that is our core business. Other than that, we will be going into other ventures at a later stage of property development. Sorry, I'm tongue-tying myself already, yeah? Also IT services and software design and software design as well. So we will be doing that at a later stage as well, but that's not on the cards right now. We are focusing more on just getting the business up and running on the mining side, and that is what the shareholders are benefiting from the moment. As soon as mining starts, which it has already in May, we will then get shares from that, or should I say dividends from that, according to how many shares you have. So as it says, building gold-backed ventures, and we are designed, or everything is designed to create long-term shareholder value while uplifting communities. And I'm going to explain communities more as the presentation goes on. But remember, whether you're in Canada, Japan, India, Suriname, Burkina Faso, France, Italy, wherever you are, South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, doesn't matter. We're all part of a huge community, but we also then have the smaller local communities of where the money is going to happen. So all of this is there to create that long-term shareholder value while we are uplifting all of the communities, as we such said. All right, so moving on. Let me just get my presentation going here. Why is it not? Okay, there we go. Sorry, just a slight little bit of a hiccup on my system. All right, so what do you get when you become a shareholder? Well, basically, you are getting shared ownership in a gold mining venture, right? And it's structured. Because why do we say structured? Because there's only so many shares available, which I'll explain later. But you get an ownership certificate, a shareholder certificate, which is obviously we are registered with CIPC, so it's a legal document, and you are then an owner. As much as I'm an owner and the next person's an owner, you become an owner of the business. And that to some people is something that they've never ever had an opportunity to become part of, even with as little as what it costs right now to get in. And folks, I don't want to jump the gun and give it away, but the price right now per share is still very affordable for most people to become an owner of a business. Because if you had to take the same amount of money and put it into your own physical business, you're probably not going to get the benefits that what you're probably going to get from owning shares in Aureus. So each share represents participation in the company's long-term mining operations and profit distribution. So that meaning we are giving the company the ability to do long-term mining, and then from that, when they mine and they are able to do that, we are then going to get long-term profit distribution. As shareholders, we will benefit from that. All right, so that is basically what the core of what you're going to be getting as a shareholder. All right, so now how are we going to do this? Well, we have 2 eco-friendly gold wash plants that are going live, like really right now. They will be powered by renewables, not anything, we're not going to be doing blast mining, pit mining, chemical mining, tunnel mining, shaft mining, whatever other strip mining. We are doing eco-friendly mining. So they ensure clean, sustainable mining. And also, just to let you know, our wash plants will be able to be moved at a later stage. So when we put it on a on a site right now, and that site is then done, and we found that we've mined everything we can out of that site, at a later stage we can then take that wash plant and move it. Whereas in conventional mining, most of the time you cannot move your equipment once it's there. So this is obviously, we're thinking long term, we're thinking of expanding, and we're also thinking of the cost effective way of doing it. So the land once mined will be rehabilitated and restored to its natural and viable state, or viable and natural state, which means like right now, even if there's a tree, we can't destroy the tree. The tree has to stay there. But we can make sure we can clean the ground around it, and then we take the placer gold or the alluvial layer, and we put that through the wash plant, and hopefully that is where we'll get our gold from. But once that is done and the process is done, we restore the land to its natural and viable state. Right. All production then will be transparently reported to shareholders. In our dashboard, we do have a section that says mining production, and you will see there there's other minerals, and I'm going to say this right now because it's later in the presentation, it's going to speak about it. When we mine and we find maybe other minerals other than gold, that will also be transparently reported to us. All right. So moving forward. So what is it that we literally buying into? Well, like I said, we're going to be doing gold mining, and that is our core business for now. And the company already has a 250 hectare site, which is greenfield, which means it's virgin land in Kadoma, containing a minimum, tests have told us, of 2.16 tons of placer gold in that alluvial 80 centimeters of the topsoil, right? So folks, we know there is there is gold there. It's just a matter of us as a company getting the equipment on the land and then mining that, because we will get profits from that. All right. So like I said, May 2026, which is now, we'll have one wash plant that's going live. By December, we'll have up to 10 of them. And from 2027 onwards, the output is projected at 3.5 tons per year. Now, on that example and that milestone, if you look on the left-hand side here in the pictures, 3.5 tons annually by June 2027 at a price, and this is a conservative price because I know the gold price currently, if I just do an update on my other computer here quickly next to me, I know on Monday it was, I think, 18,000 or 14,000 more. Let me just double check the price now. It seems to be 151, unless that's taking its time to update. Let me just tell you. Okay, it's sitting at 151,000. So it's about 21,000 more than this example. But in the case of this, when we worked it out at 130,000 per kilogram, it gave us a per share value of 178. So you must know now, if the price is already 21,000 more right now, that price of 178 is going to go up, because one of the things that affects the price of the shares, or the dividend should I say, is the price of gold as well. So remember, every calculation we are giving you or on the site is an estimated dividend potential based on production model. Now let me just explain what production model means. A production model basically is what we do. We take what machinery we're going to use, what the output of it is, what our hourly rate of work is going to be, how long we're going to work those hours in a day, and a lot of stuff goes into the calculations. So it's not just something that we're throwing out there saying we want to do that. We're working out what we physically believe we will be able to do with everything that we have and all of our machinery and our labor that's on the land. So that's what we call the production model. So we work everything out based on these models, and scenarios are derived from known placer deposits as well, because we are taking into account how much we know is in the land as well. So folks, that is what we use to sort of work out more or less the calculations that we are working out on. Okay, so it can change as the physical mining happens. We might find, for instance, like I said, other minerals there. We're going just on gold, but we might find like platinum, copper, zinc, or anything else that's there that may be of value. So we may just be surprised when we start taking this stuff out of the land. All right, moving on. So just to let you know, dividends are payments from company profits. Like I said, mining has to happen, right, for there to be profits. Because the thing is, if we don't have gold taken out or any other minerals taken out and that then sold, then we're not going to have dividends to share. So if they are paid when profits are available, like I said, once the minerals have been sold, they are available, then the profits will be there for us to share in. And then Aureus Alliance Holdings earns profit. If it does that, then us as shareholders, we share in it. That is the plain simple fact. Once there's profits from mining, we as shareholders are entitled to that. So just to let you know how dividends are created, let me just break that down again so that you understand the proper procedure. Gold or other minerals, as I said, could be mined. They are then processed and then sold for revenue to the refineries, right? Because we have mining licenses on our piece of land. We have 10 licenses because we need a license for every 25 hectares. So we've got 250 hectares, which means we have 10 licenses to cover that. which means then we also are licensed to sell to the refineries. We're not doing it on the black market like some people have to do when they are, and I will get to it later. We have some zamas, but I'll explain that in a later stage. All right, we're not zamas. We are legally allowed to mine. We have the licenses to do that. All right, once we have that revenue then paid to us, the expenses are paid, and then whatever profit remains is then divided between all 1.4 million shares. All right, nothing comes from selling new shares. So let's just get that clarification from the start. A lot of people feel like, hey man, I've been in this business since December and I've seen people coming on board and people are spending money in the business, but where's my dividends? Now, dividends do not come from us selling shares, they come from the mining. What does come from the selling of shares is the affiliate commission, which we'll touch on later. But that is a totally separate part. It's a secondary income from the business, which has been offered to those that obviously help with word of mouth of the business, and I will speak about that a little bit later. So that is how the dividends are created. Now, when are dividends paid? Let's just clarify this as well. They are linked to production milestones. So depending on where we are in the production milestones, that is how we will get paid. So obviously, if we're between now, which is 0, and 50 tons annually, we'll be getting paid 4 times a year. Now that 4 times a year, I like to use the shortened version Joe. So if you can remember Joe, it stands for January, April, July, and October. All right. So it's basically like I can say a lot of us probably have a normal job. And in a normal job, you probably are chasing a 13th check or a bonus at the end of the year. But in this way, you can put a little bit of money into the business. You can become an owner of a business and you can insure yourself actually 13, 14, 15, and 16th check. So you can have a little bit of extra money 4 times a year for now. But once the company starts doing a little bit better than that, we then will get paid between 50 tons and 99 tons annually. We'll get paid twice a year, which is in A and O, which is April and October. All right, I like to sing that song. Ayo, ayo, it's off to the bank I go. I've got money, how about you? Sammy. I can make up more words to that. But yeah, my tune is a little bit out tonight. But you know what I mean. We get so happy. Obviously, when we see there's money in the bank and this is what's going to happen with the business, before you know it, the company will get to that 50 to 99 tons and we'll getting paid twice a year, which will be quite good. I believe by that stage we'll be earning some nice dividends. And then the company steps it up a little bit more. Once we get to 100 tons or more, wow, folks, by that stage, you know, your bank account is going to be growing, or your bank manager is going to ask you if they can borrow your money and use it. Now, I'm joking. I'm not a financial advisor, but you never know. Your bank manager might just ask for your number and say, what are you doing? Because, folks, we're getting paid once a year, and that will be in April. All right. So A for away, or A, the first letter of the alphabet, it just means your year is starting on an A for away note. All right. So A meaning April will be the time we get paid once we hit that 100 tons or more milestone. So just to also clarify, a lot of people are asking, if I buy shares now in May, will I get paid in July? No. The short answer to that is no. The long answer, if I can give you that, and why, is because your shares or the money that you put in have to be working for 5 months. So right now, if you buy in May, I just have to work May, June. No, that's my wrong calculation. I wrote it down here the other day, but now it's gone again. Let me just write it down again with you again. I did write this down, but I've lost the piece. Okay. No, it's not that one. All right, let me just write it down here again quickly. So you're buying now in May, right? So May to June would be 1 month. June to July will be 2nd month. July to August would be your 3rd month. August to September would be your 4th month. And then September to October would be your 5th month. Now we know that the dividends are paid out in October. So your 5th month being October means you will not get paid in October, which means you're going to have to wait until January. So everyone buying now means you're going to have to wait until January. But I do believe by that time we'll have more wash plants and more production, which means you're probably going to see your first dividend is going to be like a really, really nice surprise. So I know most people right now that are waiting for their first or second dividend, so to say, I believe are going to make their money back from what they've put into the business. All right, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, just my honest opinion. They're going to make their money back, and then everything after that is going to be like really good profits. But I believe those people right now that buy now in May, you're going to be surprised in January and April and next year, all of the payouts next year. You're going to see that you're going to make your money, I believe, your money back a lot faster, and you're going to really, really be surprised, and you're going to be happy. I think you will be happy with what you've put in, because you're going to see the returns coming back nicely. All right. So just to let you know, if you were to buy in April, which is just past, we're just giving you an example of the 5-month scenario. If you bought in April, you wouldn't have qualified for July. Your first dividend is in October. Then your cycle continues. October, it goes to January, April, July, and then it carries on until we get to the 2 payout cycle, if that is the case later on. All right. So just to let you also know how dividends grow. As the company grows, like I said, expanding and building out more wash plants, the profits can increase. Because why? Production is the second reason our dividends can grow. So the bigger profits mean a bigger dividend pool, and over time dividends per share can become higher because there is more production on the ground. All right, so I hope you understand that. So the 2 things for now that I've explained that determine our dividends is the price of gold and the production. All right, and then obviously mining has to happen, so that's a given. Mining has to happen, but once gold is taken out, it's a production amount and the price of gold. Those are the 2 things that will determine our dividend potential. All right. Okay, so moving on. So folks, what are the benefits? Now, this is one thing I have to admit, that I do believe every other business, and I'm not talking bad of any other businesses, because everyone goes through problems. Sometimes they don't always work out sustainability and stuff. So I cannot, I've made mistakes, but it wasn't the company's fault or anyone else's fault. I just obviously maybe didn't do my own due diligence. But I can tell you, with Aureus Alliance Holdings, one of the things that stood out to me was the fact that I can call myself an owner. Now that means when you're an owner, as long as the company is there, you're getting lifetime dividends. As long as you own that share certificate, which I will explain later, you are the owner. And you obviously, point number 2 says real equity ownership. It's a company that is registered, so you're getting real equity ownership of the company. Depending on how many shares you come in with, you are the owner of the company according to your shares that you've bought. Now that also gives you the option, or should I say, you have the long-term asset growth as well. As the company is growing, we're also building assets, and that enables us as shareholders to also earn from that. Because once there's more machines, more land, more equipment on the land doing the work, we are going to see greater and greater and greater results and profits from that. And then point number 4 obviously will only come into effect really when all the shares are sold. And we do expect this to happen by the end of July next year, where all 1.4 million shares should be done. Only then will we have the transfer window and the selling marketplace available, so that you can either transfer or sell your shares. But once that does open, once the selling of shares opens, you can only sell it for a minimum of $1,000. That's why right now, I don't know if anyone really looks at it. On your dashboard, it tells you that your shares, the value of your shares, are currently working out at the $40 price. But that is not the actual value of your shares. Your shares are all valued at $1,000 per share, according to the company's registration. It's just the software for now is working it out at the current price. But look at your shares and multiply it by 1,000. Then you tell me what you're actually sitting with as ownership. Now that, like I said, if you want to sell it at a later stage, that's the minimum price you can sell your shares for. You can have 3 choices at that stage. When all is available for us to do, you can either hold your shares and continue earning, which I believe most of us would do. Then you can also choose to transfer. If you did buy for someone else, but they for whatever reason couldn't do anything on the system, you can transfer it to them. or you can sell your shares if you are wanting to do that. But I will explain what happens later on when you sell your shares. There's something else that you benefit from as well as you sell shares. And number 5, shareholder benefits. Most of us know in any other company there will probably be an internal communication of some sort. I don't know what's happening in Amazon at the moment. I only know what's public available. But I don't know what they're working on, what their systems, how their systems are operating, where they may be developing another office or stuff like that. Because why? I'm not in Amazon. So the same year, we have shareholder benefits where obviously you as a shareholder are added to certain groups. There are certain groups. There's company groups. There's local groups for local leaders who are starting their own groups. But there's normally also company shareholder groups where you as a shareholder will then get first-hand information and updates and advantages that not any non-shareholder will get. All right, so that's obviously the shareholder benefits. And just to clarify, important clarity number 6, you earn dividends because you own shares. That is as simple as the shareholder part of the business is. You buy your shares, it's a once-off. There's no membership needed. So there's no signing up fee, there's no royalty fee that you have to pay, there's no monthly fee that you have to pay to be on the system, or even yearly fee to use the system or the software. So folks, it's a once-off. You purchase as minimum as 1 share, or you can purchase more than that. However, if you do the maximum amount of shares you can purchase at one transaction is 10,000 shares. All right? You can purchase more transactions if you want more than 10,000. But at one time, you can only do up to 10,000 shares. So let's say you want 100,000 shares, you'll have to do 10 transactions at 10,000 shares if that is the case. All right. So folks, you earn dividends just from that. You purchase your shares, you hold your certificate, and you pay out when the dividends are due to you. That is the simple part of becoming a shareholder. But I do know that a lot of people are asking, you do not need to refer anyone, you do not need to join the affiliate program, and you do not need to participate in selling shares to other people to become, or should I say, to be a shareholder. All right. That is as simple as it is. But we do know that your dividends come from your shares and not your referrals. Now, let me just explain something quickly. Folks, I know that that is the simple part of the business, but I know if I had to own my own brick and mortar store, supermarket, restaurant, hardware store, petrol station, whatever, I'm not just going to buy the business and expect it to make me money, right? Yes, we know that that is as simple as it is to be a shareholder. You don't even have to go and do anything for that. It just pays you when the dividends are due, because you're like a silent partner putting money into the business and the working gets done by other people, which I will explain in one of our next slides. But we also know that for you to make more money right now and also in future, it will benefit you to become an affiliate. So I just want to touch on that, because on Wednesday we will explain how the affiliate system works. For anyone that might be here for the first time, you may just be someone that's interested in making more money right now while you're waiting for your dividends. There is a second option where you can, if you feel comfortable, we're not forcing you to, where you can share the business, and that's called the affiliate side of the business, which I will explain in the next few slides, but I don't go into it in too much detail because I do that on Wednesday. All right, so moving on. So like I said, how is the mining going to be done? Because it's not you, it's not me. We are not miners, I know that. But we are building a company that is going to do mining. So how are we going to get this done? Well, folks, we know, like I always use the analogy of me playing or wanting to win the World Cup. I used to play soccer years ago when I still could run around. But right now, I don't think I can do the same. But if I said I wanted to win the World Cup, I'm obviously going to have a team. I might know how to maybe coach a little bit or think of strategies, but I can't win the World Cup alone. And as much as I might have money to put a team together, I still can't do it alone. So in this case, the same with us. We have the mining site. We might be able to buy the equipment, but what is going to happen? Because it's in a rural area, the company has decided, okay, we can't just expect people to come and work, but we're not building up the area. So the company decided between Aureus, which is Donovan's business, and Sun, which is JP's business, the two came together and said, no, they both had the idea of building up the area. So they both came up with this building eco world smart villages, which will provide jobs, food, clean water, clean energy, and clinics and schools. Now, I can tell you, in the areas where Donovan and JP went to, some of the community leaders and their families are walking between 10 to 15 kilometers to and from school on a daily basis. Now, that I believe is not, I mean, if you had a family or you had a daughter or a son that had to do that on a daily basis to get to and from school, I'm sure you also wouldn't feel that that is conducive to a healthy environment for your child. So we are literally, each of us as shareholders, our shares are supporting healthcare, education, and sustainable development. Because why? We are allowing that community to have what it needs. Now, I can just give you one example. When JP and Donovan went to Zimbabwe just before they went to India in January, I think it was February was it? They went to Zimbabwe and they rode through an area called Zimplats, or a mining area called Zimplats. Now, in Zimbabwe, most of the areas are rural, especially where they're doing the mine. So what happened with Zimplats is they built their own little village for that mine of theirs. It had its own power station, its own cell phone tower, because there was no reception in the area. They have their own medical suites, shops, tarred roads, and residential areas and schools. So everything that they needed, like we have put out in our plan, is there for them. So they know they can function and do what they need to do for Zimplats. So the same with ours. We want to uplift our community so that they can then look after us. Using Richard Branson's philosophy, like I know that Richard Branson looks after his employees first, because when his employees are happy and they're happy to do their job, they then look after and give a greater service to the clients or the customers. And that being said, the customers then obviously will put money into the business. And when that happens, the whole of Virgin Atlantic or Virgin, whatever you're calling it, will benefit from that. And then obviously Richard Branson makes his money. So we're using that. So folks, our mission is to uplift communities across Africa, not just thinking, oh, let's mine gold. We want to uplift those communities as well. But that being said, they also uplift us then as shareholders, because the greater they get looked after, the greater they look after us with mining production. And when the mining production is high, then we know we're going to benefit from it as well. So folks, this is the community. We've been there, we've done that, and we're hoping to get the t-shirt. Well, in some cases, some of our leaders do already have t-shirts, but we'll get to that later. All right. So here's one of the communities that Donovan met. Remember, folks, Donovan has been doing this from 2016, working on the land, being there, communicating with people. Then JP joined him in 2019. So, folks, it's been for over 6 to 7 years already that the two of them have been working on this plan. And it just means that it's not just something that came around recently. It's something that they've been working on for many years and developing for many years. So it's a well thought out process. It's been well documented. They've been up and down, finding places, finding things. Now, folks, this is one of the communities that they started with. There's the leader in the pink and white shirt. Yeah, is Donovan. You can see standing there. So he met with them. Then, yeah, is Mr. Wayne Williams. As you can see, Donovan is on the left-hand side here. Now, Mr. Wayne Williams is the gentleman that is going to be producing all our wash plants. His company is called Yagden Engineering in Zimbabwe. And they've made machinery for other companies as well. But we have now got them on board. They will be doing our wash plant technology. Now, this gentleman in the pink shirt and this one in the black shirt, yeah, they are... Sorry, you can't see where I'm pointing. There we go. Now I can show you. The gentleman in the pink shirt and the gentleman in the black shirt, yeah, are from India, I think from nationality. They are mining experts or gold mining experts. They are experts in finding gold and locating it. And what why they came to the land was because they realized from a picture that Donovan sent, they thought, no man, you photoshopped this thing. It cannot look like this. So folks, I will show you in the next slide what that picture, well, one of the pictures that they thought was Photoshop. But you can see they did find some traces of gold. They found a piece of silica rock here. You can see in his hand here. When they put it through a pan, or you can see some dirt here, they sampled it. You can see the gold flakes that were found. You can already see how much bigger they are than the little gold black pieces of dirt that was in the pan as well. So you can see we're literally sitting on a gold mine if you look at it like that. Yes, Donovan and JP with some of the gold experts there and the team having a discussion. Yeah, you can see this picture here is very important. This gentleman is an advisor to the president. Now, folks, I don't know if you understand. Whenever you put up a business, whenever, it doesn't matter what country you're in, if you are not legal and compliant with your country's laws and things that are in place, you may not be around for a very long time. Because when they do come and they check on you and they do checks and they come and enforce the law, you may just be in trouble if you don't comply to what needs to be complied with. So I know the company has done its due diligence. It's got us registered, it's got us legal, and it's got everything in place. The government is happy because, first of all, like I said, we have a greenfield site. It's on a rural area of Zimbabwe, and the company itself up until now, should I say the country itself, up until now, has never developed that area. Now they know our plans to develop the area and also to bring back to the economy, obviously, is going to benefit the country, and that is what the government is happy about. They're happy that Aureus Alliance Holdings is doing what we're doing, and they've given us the go-ahead. The government is happy, and we are above board with everything according to them. All right. You can see here in this picture in the bottom middle, meetings didn't just happen during the daylight hours. You can see that was early morning or late night. You can see it was dark then when that happened. All right, folks, here's the picture. Sorry, I just need to take a sip of something. I sometimes get hiccups as I'm talking, so I do apologize. Sometimes you hear it sounds like I'm drunk, but I don't drink alcohol. Please don't say that you heard me hiccuping that I'm drinking alcohol. I don't do that. I just have acid reflux. It comes up and it makes me hiccup. So sorry about that. All right, so folks, this picture over here, if you look at it, if you compare it to this picture here, which is not our piece of land, just to confirm, this is another piece of land, which I'll explain what's happening there shortly. But you can see the difference in the grass between this piece here, and you can see the grass quality. There's, like, you know, it's very bare here, and the grass isn't as green. Whereas over here, there's a lot of grass, and it's very green. Now, these experts, here is the one in the black shirt here. Sorry, something is itching my nose, and it keeps on making me feel like something's crawling on my nose. This grass over here, you can see, is also close to a stream. So we all know, if you've been watching programs like Gold Rush or Yukon Gold, which I know was referred to by JP when he still did presentations, I have been watching, or I have watched some of the episodes of Gold Rush. So I know most of the time gold settles in where rivers or streams ran or are running. So currently we know if it's green like this near a stream, we know that there could be a lot of gold there. So that's a good thing to see a stream here and also to see the greenery. Now, I'm not a geological expert and understanding 100%, but something to do with the greenery has something to do with the iron levels or something to do with iron. And because of that, they also believe, because of that there's going to be a high concentration of gold as well. So they did come and do tests, and as we said, the tests have already told us there's 2.16 tons of placer gold in the land, and that means there is profits to be taken out, right? So folks, here you can see, as I said, I'll explain these pictures to you, what's happening here. These are what we call artisanal miners, or otherwise known in Africa and Zimbabwe as zama-zamas. All right, these zama-zamas can be one of two things. They can be a deterrent to us and a hindrance and a problem, where they might just infiltrate our land and then start mining. And that is also why we don't want to disclose our location 100% and make it public, because if they do find where we are and they understand what's on the land and they know about it, then we are going to have problems. But on the other hand, they could be a positive to the company because they already have the knowledge. Yes, they're working illegally. They are working without the proper equipment, but they are determined to make gold, because as you can see, they dig these pits, they dig these tunnels. It's very unsafe, but they do that on a daily basis because they want to make money. However, they can't sell their gold at normal gold prices because they are selling on the black market because they don't have licenses. So they can either come and work for the company and then apply their knowledge and their skills and empower us, because we don't have to go and train people. We just have to give them the right equipment, the right way to do it, and they can benefit us as a community. So it's a on one side it's bad, on the other side it's good, but that is just where we're sitting in terms of that. Just to understand the problem it could be, but also the positiveness that they could bring. All right, so yeah, you can see the team obviously in various locations. There's Donovan on the ground. You don't just see him in meetings and doing presentations and business. He's also in Zimbabwe doing the work on the ground. So he's a CEO all over the place, and I can tell you he's all over the place. He has a young gentleman that was just happy to have a picture taken. Probably doesn't know technology, but it was great to see a camera there, or happy to see a camera.
Sorry,
So as I said, yes.
they are saying they can't see this, but I can see the screen. I'm not sure if you are already seeing that I'm seeing.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying now. It's breaking up. Say again.
Someone on the comment says they can't see your screen.
Okay,
But I
they
can
need to
see
be
the
on.
screen. I'm
No,
not
I
sure
know what
the
it is.
screen that you are on now is the one that
I know what it is. Some people, when they're on their phones, you get the presenter view and you get the talker view. They are not on their presenter view. They need to be on the I'm showing my screen, so they should see a screen there which is presenting what I'm presenting. And they're on the talker view, so they're not seeing what I'm saying. I can't remember what they call it on the phone. I haven't been on the phone Zoom for a while, but I do know you got different screens. You can go to the gallery view, you can go to the talker view, and then you can go to the screen view, which shows what is being presented on the screen. They need to be on that screen. Something to do that, something with that effect or that setting on Zoom. All right. It's the same with audio. If you're not connected to audio, you're not going to hear what I'm saying. You need to be connected to audio. Right. So moving on. I can't change that setting. I am presenting the screen, and what I'm seeing on the screen is what should be shown. So if it's showing on my side, it should be showing to your side as well. All right. So folks, after being on the ground, obviously the company then moved into the working class community, where Donovan and JP started building locally. Because I know, let's say a company sets up here in my suburb, in where I'm staying, and it's supposed to benefit, and let's say they want to benefit global people. But if I, as a local community member here, don't even know about the company, how would that look? So it's the same with Zimbabwe. You understand? So we had to first reach out to people in the local area in Zimbabwe and build those local connections. So you can see we had companies, we had around breakfast tables, lunch tables, dinner tables, even in boardrooms we had set up presentations. We had it in company offices and also in people's private homes and residences. So you can see we went everywhere we could to build these communities and these relationships with people. So we didn't just stick on the ground and say, okay, we're going to hope people are going to get to know us. And I can tell you, it was shared with us in this week, or should I say last week? I'm forgetting it's Monday today. Last week, we got feedback from one of our members that she had visitors over the weekend, or should I say it was before the weekend, because we had the Friday meeting and I already knew about it. She had visitors in the week last week, and someone of those visitors was connected to royalty in Zimbabwe. And that person then shared that they know about Aureus, and they also suggested as royalty from Zimbabwe that you buy shares, because they knew what it is doing for their country and what it is about. So that is quite big. It just tells you that whatever these connections were that were built, someone from royalty in Zimbabwe already knew about it when they came to visit someone in South Africa. So that is huge. That already says something positive for us as a company, meaning that even people as high as the government, as well as the royalty in the country, are knowing about us and are happy to even say that they know about Aureus. So that's big. All right. So folks, the next slide. This was just a trip that was taken in December where JP and Donovan obviously went to Zimbabwe. I'm not going to explain all the slides or all the pictures, but yeah, you can see our first purchase of our 10-ton per hour wash plant. Now this wash plant is currently going to be used for testing purposes. It's going to, just when we move to a new site and we want to test the ground, we're going to be using it for that. There is the slip that was paid, or that we paid for it, just to show transparency. And then yeah, you can see, folks, I do know a lot of people are still asking why we didn't mine, or why we haven't mined up until now. This is just a giveaway here. Maybe we didn't notice at the time when this presentation was put together, but you can see this picture was in December. And there you can already see the rain started in December, because we've seen that the rainy season in Zimbabwe seems to affect us from December. And we know all the way up until March we were affected by it. So we do know now going forward. And I think this is a blessing in disguise that it showed us, because in the next slide you will see something here. Let me start at the bottom while I'm on the conversation of that. This is where we wanted to put the first wash plant. This was our groundbreaking ceremony, right? If we had managed to put our wash plant up here and the rains then came as they did, all right, let's say it was delayed a little bit and the rains came after we put the wash plant up, we would have been in trouble, because by law and by the requirements and the legalities, we have to be 50 meters away from the water source. So let's say we built this plant here, we put it up, and then the rain came and the water was now flooding that area. They would have closed us down and said, hey, we have to move everything or change. So we would have already been delayed again. So in a way, the rains actually have given us a much better plan going forward of where we can and where we can't build, because now we know potentially where the floods are going to affect us and where they're not going to affect us. All right. So that's just the groundbreaking ceremony, and also talking on the blessing that it actually gave us on the rains happening and where it's now giving us the go ahead where not to and where to build. All right. So just to complete the story at the top, you can see when we went and fetched the wash plant, they just gave us some training on how to put it together, how it works, how the working parts fit together. There's the sluice box that the gold will be running through and be caught. Yes, JP in front of the company, Bucky, all branded, so we know. Donovan is very big on branding. Wherever we have a vehicle or a piece of equipment that can have a sign on it to say that it's Aureus, Donovan's very big for that. All right. Yes, Donovan again with a community leader. You can already see in the background the fencing. So they started building the camps and making sure it's slightly secure, or more secure than just an open piece of land that doesn't have security. And then yes, Donovan thinking about the 10-year plan. Obviously, not just thinking, okay, we've just started now. He's thinking into the future. And folks, the future for Aureus is not just a small one. It's a much bigger one. Like I said, we are thinking about a 10-year plan, a 10-year plus actually, but we just will say 10 years for now. Aureus plans to control 6,000 hectares, not just the 250 we have now. So 6,000 hectares of mineral-rich land across Africa by 2035. So within the next 9 to 10 years, we want to get that. Now, each year we want to try and put out 20 new wash plants, which will then help us scale to 100 tons annually. Now, like I said, once we get to 100 tons annually that we're mining of gold every year, then that means we'll get paid once a year, but it's going to be a very good amount, obviously, at that production. All right. So let's just to confirm, each plant is built for sustainable and scalable gold production. All right, which means the more we can mine, the better production there is, the higher the income that we'll be making, or the dividends that we'll be getting. All right, so moving on. All right, so where are we currently sitting? We're sitting at phase 7. In phase 7, we have approximately 679,694 shares, currently at $40 each. Now, the companies are selling shares over various phases. They started with a pre-sale phase in August and September. Then they started with your phase cells. We started with phase 1, then phase 2, then phase 3. Where we are now currently is phase 7. It's going to end on the 6th of, or should I say the 5th of June. And then on the 6th of June, phase 8 will start at $45. So that is our next phase. So our phases will increase. The price obviously per phase will increase at a certain amount, and I will explain it later on. But just to let you know, we are in a we're releasing the phases in a structured way, but also in this way so that we can build up slowly as the company is going along. All right. When you do purchase shares, you have two options. Obviously, as a South African, you have two options. Or should I say 5 options, if I have to be honest. You can buy with EFT. You do a EFT transfer. It doesn't matter what bank account you are. As long as it's an immediate transfer, then your shares will be reflecting hopefully within 24 to 48 hours. Then you have 4 different cryptocurrency options, and this is effective for people who are international as well. You have the Polygon network, you have the Ethereum network, the Tron network, and the Binance network. Now, all of those you should be able to then purchase through USDT on those networks, and then you will get your shares hopefully showing up within 24 to 48 hours. And then you also get an NFT certificate, which I will explain later what that means and how it benefits you. All right, so moving on. When you do purchase shares, the shares are then, or the money that comes into the business is then allocated across the 20 phases that we are having or going to have. It's going to be allocated as such. 35% that comes in goes to Aureus, which is the mining, or takes care of everything to do with mining. That is Donovan's big baby. And then 25% goes to Sun, that is JP's baby. That takes care of anything to do with promotion, the marketing, the website, the software, everything to do with that. All right. Then 10% goes to Ubuntu Helping Hands Foundation. That's the corporate social responsibility of the company. That's also who and what is going to be then taking care of the eco-friendly world smart villages. Then we also know that we could be spending more money on advertising, but it's not going to work as great as what word of mouth and you and me as business partners taking it upon ourselves to share the business. So the company said, no, let's put some money aside for affiliate commission. That is what happens directly as you sell someone a share and they purchase, and it then reflects on the dashboard. Your sales then will reflect as well on your dashboard, and you'll receive commission as soon as possible. All right. Then the Gold Diggers competition is a monthly competition where 15% is also allocated to that. And there are people that are regularly earning there because they know, they've already seen that they can make like a monthly, I don't want to call it a salary, but almost like they were working for a boss. They're just working for themselves or indirectly for the company, but on their own terms, and they are making some good money, earning money on a monthly basis through the Gold Diggers competition. That is for the top 50 affiliates in the company. I will explain on Wednesday if you want to hear about that. Please come and hear on Wednesday how that works. All right. So, folks, the phases of fortune, as we call it, we are currently in phase 7, as I said, with 679,694 shares at $40 a share. Or if you're in South Africa, it's just short of 750 Rand. So then next month, like I said, on the 6th of June, we will be changing phase from phase 7, which it currently is, to phase 8. And then we will add another 50,000 shares. And the shares then will go up to $45. I haven't worked out, or I have worked it out, but just for the life of me, I can't remember the amount in South African Rand. For those of you, if you want to, you can just ask me later on for that graphic. I have created a graphic with the phase costs. I just can't tell you offhand right now what the price is going to be. All right, so just to clarify, between phase 7, which we are now, and phase 9, every time the phase changes, the price increases on the 6th of the month, and it then adds another 50,000 shares, and the price goes up by $5. So we're currently in phase 7, $40. Next phase will be 45. Then the next phase will be 50. That will be the end of phase 9. When we change from phase 9 to phase 10, that will be between July and then August. So in August, the price is going to go up by double the price. So it's going to increase by $50. That then means the price becomes $100 in August. Then from August to September, between phase 10 and phase 11, it jumps by $100 again. It doubles the price. So that means your price in September then becomes $200. So folks, just be careful of that before you think, okay, no, it's only going to go up by $5, it's fine. Don't get caught off guard in those 2 months where it goes up $50 and then $100. So you think, oh no, I'll get more shares. I don't want to have to twist your arm. I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not here to force you to buy shares. I'm just trying to let you know this is a long-term vision of the company, and we're obviously releasing the phases at certain stages, but the price is also going to increase, and we don't want to let you be caught off guard. So I'm saying it from the start so that you know that if you are planning to get in at a later stage, it might just be more harder financially, but I do know whatever you put into the business, you're going to get back like many times over. But just to let you know, if you want more shares right now and you are able to try and get in as soon as you can at the current price rather than wait 2 or 3 months down the line and it's more expensive. All right. So that's the phases of fortune. So folks, we are almost at the end. Another 500 slides to go. No, I'm joking. All right, folks, as I said, we are going to earn shares 4 times a year as shareholders, or should I say dividends 4 times a year as shareholders. They will be paid from dividends once profits are there and mining productions have begun, which is already started. And then Aureus shares, if you want to sell them, will be sellable only after all 1.4 million shares are sold. And that will be no later than July 2027. All right. Aureus shares are digitally represented, as I said, via a NFT share certificate. What that means is that it allows secure ownership tracking and future trading on the Aureus marketplace. Now, what happens then when you sell your shares, if you want to get to that? You as the original shareholder will receive a 5% sale commission. So let's say you sell it for $1,000, 5% of that you will receive as a sale commission. If those shares are sold again, the second time you still get 5% as the original shareholder, and if they're sold again you receive 5%. So you receive as long as you're living and as long as you can, as the original shareholder, you will carry on receiving that sale commission. Once the shares are not yours anymore but get sold, you receive that 5% sale commission. All right. So there again, even though if you hold on to your shares, you get lifetime dividends, which you get paid when dividends are due. But if you have sold your shares now to someone else, you will receive lifetime sale commission of 5% as the original shareholder. All right. Only once the shares are sold, not on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis or whatever as the normal dividends, but only once it is sold by someone. All right. So that, folks, brings me to the end of my presentation. I just want to say one thing. If you were invited here by someone, just thank them, reach out to them, and ask them if you are resonating with this and you really appreciate what has been said, and you can relate to everything that I've said. Then please reach out to that person that invited you. Ask them what you can do and how you can go about it. Because I know there's a reason why you're here tonight. Because you feel like me. I was working in an area, in a business. I felt like I was like a pigeon. I was scrounging around amongst so many other people for the same thing. And I just want to tell you, a lot of us don't lack income. We lack position. And let me explain that. I can go and buy a bottle of water. Okay, this one's empty. And you can't see it because my camera's not. But let's say I can go and buy a bottle of water like this from a wholesaler. And it can be 4 Rand. I'm just going to use South African currency. Excuse everyone that's international. I'm going to use my own local currency. It's going to be 4 Rand, right? I then go to a shop and I can buy it for 8 Rand. I then go to a restaurant and I buy it for 18 Rand. I then go to an airport lounge, or should I say a hotel, and I then pay 24 Rand for it. I then go to an airport, and either in the lounge or even on the aircraft itself, it will be $34, 34 Rand. So it's all about the same bottle of water, but just where it's placed. So the same with you and me. Sometimes we don't lack money, we lack positioning, and we lack the ownership as well, because some of us are working for someone else that positions ourselves as something lower, like a wholesale bottle of water. Whereas if you step out and you say to yourself, no, I'm not a wholesale bottle of water. I am an airport lounge bottle of water, and I'm worth 34 Rand, not 4 Rand. Folks, some of us don't lack income. We lack positioning because we put ourselves at a lower value than where we should be and where we can be. So right now, I want to see you at the top, like an eagle, where you position much higher and greater value than a pigeon on the bottom, because the bottom is overcrowded. So I'm going to hand over to anyone that wants to share a testimony, ask a question, or have a comment on the meeting. Please put up your hand, we'll unmute you, and then you can speak to us. And I'm also great to see that there's so many people on the meeting tonight. It's awesome to see so many people are joining us tonight from all over. All right, so anyone that has a question or wants to share a testimony or anything like that, please put up your hand. We'll unmute you and allow you then to come and speak to us. Are you guys unable to use... Okay, people are talking. People are talking, so the chat is working. The chat is working. I can't see any pictures. I can see the picture. Check your settings. Alright, hi Paul. We can't see the screen. Folks, no, never. We will never be listening. Alright, I see there was a question about any... Okay, Candace, I don't know if Candace is still on the meeting. Let me just see a name, if it's showing up on the screen. Candace, are you still with us? Yes, okay, Candace, just to answer that, I know Robert answered it in a chat. Just to also explain to people, the company is, it is a private company, it's a PTY Limited, but the company could have sold all shares out to one person already. There was an offer and JP didn't want that. JP's plan, or should I say Donovan didn't want that, because Donovan's plan and idea for the company was to enable every normal person. Like I said, a lot of us feel like a pigeon. We've been working many years and we haven't got anywhere because we're just following what everyone else is doing. Like, you know, everyone gets told, go to school, study for a career, and then go and work in the career, work for a boss, and then hopefully get a stable income. But a lot of us have plans to increase and better our lives, but we never get there. So Donovan obviously understood that, and he says, no. I want to enable the normal person to change that. And that's why he has made the company available for us to buy as shareholders through shares. It will never be on the stock exchange. It's not going to be there, because then that means the share price will fluctuate according to supply and demand, and that's also not what he wanted. The company was registered with par value shares according to CIPC. That's why I said, even though your shares show on your dashboard right now at the value of $40, because that's the selling price right now, your shares are actually valued at $1,000 per share, and it will never be lower than that. So you are buying something that is literally never going to be on the stock exchange. So Candace, I hope you understand that. And that being said as well, we are not a financial institution. We don't need an FSCA license or an FSB license. We are registered in South Africa. We do have a company attorney. Everything legal that we needed to take care of has been taken care of. The company is registered in South Africa, so all of that is in place. All right. Rafiwa, yes, please unmute yourself and speak, my love. Rafiwa, you can unmute yourself. Rafiwa?
Yeah. Good evening.
Yes,
I think maybe if you can give Candice a chance to speak. I think she has a lot of questions that she's asking. I think it would be better if she can just maybe if you can unmute her or him, I don't know, so that she can ask all the questions.
Who's this?
Candice.
Candice. All right, just saying on. Candice, if you can see the notification, just unmute yourself.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi.
No, it's fine. I've asked my question, and the next question that I had was when dividends gets paid, are we expecting at the beginning or at the end of the month?
All right, Candice, how often have you been on the presentation? Because I do not recognize your name, but the questions you're asking, it's almost like you have listened to presentations before, but you're just unclear. So is this the first time you've been on a live presentation?
This is my second time.
Second time. Okay. Yeah. What I do normally say, and I've said it before, because I even asked JP when he did one of his appearances from India recently. I even asked him to clarify when we will get paid, and he even said it's once that dividend time is processed and it's audited, then it will get paid. He says it could be beginning, middle, or end of the month. But I've also just said to people, to be honest, just expect it like a normal salary. If it says October, expect it at the end of October. If it comes early, then great. But let's just be mindful and give the company time to process what it needs to process, and then just expect it by the end of the month. But if you get it earlier, then great. Obviously, it will be great for all of us, all right? So that's on that. Then your next question, I believe, was something to do with the cards. The cards, I do know that there was a problem with Ubuntu, listen to me, with Bankers. Sorry, I don't know where Ubuntu came from. With Bankers cards, because that's who the company is working through. They're getting, I think, white labeled cards that will be branded with Aureus on it. But there was a slight, I think, delay at one stage for us to get cards, because there's a difference between they were Visa cards and now they're Master, or the other way around. I'm not with Bankers, so I'm not too familiar with that. But I do know that they were changing over from the one to the other, and they also were in a process of, I think, even on their own site, on Bankers' site themselves, they also have some of their cards or some of their things on maintenance at the moment. Not to say that there's a problem. It's just they're obviously going through the changeover, I think, from one Visa to the MasterCard situation, or vice versa. I don't know which one it is. But we will be told when Donovan, I think, is in charge of the Bankers cards. He's the one that's talking to Bankers about it. When they are available, we will get told at that time when it's available how to go about getting the cards. All right. So they are not available at the moment. I do know in the beginning there were only, I think, 100 odd that were bought originally. I think those ones have already been sent to the people that ordered it. But the next, I think they ordered 1,000 cards. It hasn't come yet from what I understand. Right. Am I missing one more of your questions? You might have asked more than that. Just remind me, Candice. Sorry, you muted yourself while I...
No, that's all. Thanks.
Is that it? Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Are you answered well enough? Is that fine for you, or are you still unclear?
I'm on fine now. Thank you.
Pleasure. All right. Anyone else with a question? Just raise your hand. Veronica, if I buy now, in January, will I get dividends? Veronica, I'm not sure what part of the presentation you came in at. I did explain that in the example of when dividends will get paid. If you buy now, being May, I worked it out. May to June is your first month, because remember, you got to wait 5 months. So May to June is your first month. June to July, July to August, August to September, September to October is 5 months. But we know now, if your 5th month ends in October, you can't get paid in October, because you're probably going to miss that deadline for the payouts. You will then have to wait to January. And yes, you will get dividends in January, because that is, we will be obviously paying dividends out in January. We've already started mining, which means we are probably going to get paid out like now in July for those that are eligible for July payouts. So, but by the time January payouts come, you will definitely get a dividend. Yes, all right. Okay, that's Veronica. I hope that answers you. Alright, that's the end of the text questions I'm seeing here. We must wait for, yes, okay. Alright, anyone, anytime, no specific date depending. Alright, folks, any other questions? I don't see anything else being asked in question. Okay, there's one more. Let me just check what it says here. Please check mine. Sue Flora, what do you mean please check yours? What do you need to check? Sue Flora, what are you talking about? Please check yours. What are you talking about? When I will get paid. Sue Flora, when did you buy your shares? If you can answer that, then I can tell you. When did you buy your shares originally? Okay, Veronica, you've raised your hand. Yes, Veronica? Veronica, you can unmute. Veronica, if you can see the notification, you can unmute yourself. Veronica?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, thank you. I've been unmuted. Okay, Paul, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm trying to find, remember, it's those who bought before May. In October, they're gonna get, I don't know if you call them dividends or what, because you said it's not the same as January's one. The amount is not the same as the January one. And then from January, they're gonna get a dividend, which we got the schedule, how much you estimated to.
Yeah, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying when I say things change. Yes, the dividends go up according to the production and the price, right? So that is why from year to year the dividends increase. So what is getting paid out this year is not the same as what's going to start getting paid out next year. So yes, the dividend in October is not going to be the same as the dividend in January. So I'm not sure if that's where maybe you misunderstood that. Secondly, the payout that you get as a shareholder is always called a dividend. It doesn't change. We talk about shares. You have shares, but according to how many shares you have, you get paid dividends according to how much shares you have and what the price per share will be at dividend payout time. So that doesn't change the terminology used, if I can put it that way. But the price of the dividend, or should I say the payout of the dividend, or the profit that you as a shareholder receive, dividend-wise, will change according to the mining that was done in that time, and how much profit we make as a company, and then how much is then divided amongst all of us as shareholders. Now, obviously, we plan on expanding and growing as time goes on. And like I said, we currently have our first wash plant going live, but hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have 10 plants up and running. So next year, we will start seeing a much better production, and that's why the dividends go up in 2027. All right. So that, I hope, sort of clarifies maybe the question. I don't know if I misunderstood what you were asking, but I hope that clarifies it. All right.
Okay, I think you answered me.
All right, great stuff, great
Yes,
stuff, great stuff.
I
Is there
just
anything?
wanted to check today.
No problem. Is there
Thank you.
anything else? Is there anything else that you maybe are unclear on that we can answer for you?
No, for now I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you.
All right, pleasure. Thank you very much. No problem. All right, so we have Veronica again. Veronica. Sorry, Veronica. Veronica, you can sorry, Sue Flora, I'll get to you now, Sue Flora. I do see your hand up. Veronica? Veronica, can you unmute yourself again? I'm trying to let you unmute, but I'm not seeing you unmuting. Veronica? Okay, let me go to Sue. Okay. Do you have another question?
No,
No,
I want
I
to
want to
take out
take out
away
away
my
my
hand.
hand.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for that. I'll do it for you quickly. No problem. Thank you, man. All right. Sue Flora, you can unmute yourself. We're ready for you to ask your question or give your comment.
Hi
Hi
there.
there.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
also
I
have
also
two
have two
questions.
questions.
Yes.
I have
I
a
have a
team
team
that they have
that they have
questioned
questioned
that
that
did they
did they
able to
able
sell
to
the
sell the
share
share
or
or
transfer the
transfer
share
the
to
share to
the if
the
they
if
have
they
the
have the
partner,
partner
they want
they
to
want to
transfer the
transfer
share
the
to the
share to the
partner account.
partner account.
Say again if they have a partner account.
Yeah,
Yeah,
example like the
example like
wife
the wife
and the
and the
husband, right?
husband, right?
Yeah,
Then she
okay.
already
She
bought.
already
No, I
bought.
just,
Yeah, she
Yeah,
already.
she
yeah,
already.
Yeah, she
I
already
Yeah,
have
she
the
already
share
understand.
have
with
the share
her.
with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
Look, okay. That was stopped, I think, already in January, if I'm not mistaken. It was stopped because there was manipulation happening. I don't want to have to be so harsh and say that, but there were people that were manipulating the shares like that or So right now, as I said in the presentation, transfer and selling of shares will only happen once all phases are done and all 1.4 million shares are sold. There is a slide in the presentation that explains that. Let me just see if I can get to the slide and I'll show you. Okay. Remember, I explained it when I was giving you the 6 benefits where I said you can control your shares, but that will only come into effect when you've sold or when we as a company have sold out all the shares, and then that will enable us to open up again the transfer window or the selling marketplace. But for now, they are not available because we haven't got to that point yet where all the shares are sold out. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And the
And the
second
second
question.
question.
Did my
Did my
team they
team they
purchased the
purchased the
share in
share in
April? Did they
April? Did they
able to get
able to
paid by
get paid by
July or
July
they
or
won't
they
get paid
won't
by
get paid by
October?
October?
Okay, once again, in the presentation I explain that. There's even the example on the presentation that explains that. So let me just, I'm not sure what part of the presentation you came in. I do know that you got 3rd place this month in the Gold Diggers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, you see, I even know that. I know that. I know the name. I know the name. So let me just share my screen again. So I can just show you the slide that I'm talking about. It actually explains that very question you asked. Okay, let me just...
Okay.
So can you see the slide?
Yes.
Can you? Okay, so yeah, you can see if you buy in April, because that's your question right now. If you buy in April, you do not qualify for July. Your first dividend is October because you got to wait 5 months. So remember, April to June is your first month. Sorry, June to July is your second month. So you can't get dividends in your second month already because you got to wait 5 months. Then July to August. August to September, September to October. So you might get your payouts in October only, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
because
because
one of my
one of
team
my team she bought
she bought
she bought
1,000
1,000
share,
share,
but show in
show
her
in her
portal
photo
that she
that
will
she
get
will
paid by
get paid by
July.
July.
Then she
Then
asked
she
me,
asked
is
me,
she
is she
able to
able
get
to
paid by
get paid by
July? That's
July? That's
why.
why.
Did you
Okay,
guys
Did you guys
able
able
credit that
credit
money
that money
by
by
October
October
or
or
what?
what?
No, I think maybe what she's seeing is the system saying that the next dividend date is July, but I don't think she will be eligible for that. So maybe it's just a slight, it might be a slight software problem where it's telling her she'll get paid, but I don't think she'll get paid because everyone is set to only get paid after 5 months. So maybe she just needs to, I'm not sure. Let me just, I won't be able to get it up on my other computer because it's so slow. But I do know that even on my side, I've seen that it says next dividend is July. But it might also say somewhere there that you're eligible or you're not eligible because I think it will say, it should say something like that. But maybe the site has changed since I last checked because I know I was supposed to be, and it did say I was eligible for April when we were going to get paid. That said eligible to receive April, but then obviously we know it was delayed. So I think I will obviously be eligible for July. So she just has to check. Somewhere it should say that she is eligible to get paid out for the next dividend. But I believe the dashboard just tells us as a general shareholder community, the next dividend is this date, the next dividend is that date. Not necessarily that you're going to get paid on that date, because you still have to wait your 5 months. So you just need to be clear on that, all right?
But they just purchase the May 1st or May 1st to May 5th before the price going up. Did they able just get paid by January next year, or they will be get paid by October?
It's a very good question. Because, like I said, I don't know. We can't say for certain when they're going to process the payouts, whether they're going to work it from the 6th of the 6th to the month. So let's say October. They work it from the 6th to the 6th of November or 5th of November. We don't know if that's the October month is going to fall between those dates, or whether they're going to say from the 1st of October to the 31st of October. I can't clarify that 100% until we can see exactly in July, maybe the first time, and we can work it out. We can say, okay, do they process it from the 5th of October, or should I say July, and then only pay us? I'm not sure. But for now, all we're working it out is beginning of the month to the end of the month, sort of on that. I will just have to get clarified. It's a good question that you ask. I'll make note of it here, and I'll hopefully in the next presentation, being Friday, shareholders presentation, I'll give you the answer. Right, Suflora?
All right, thank you. Because the people always like last minute to buy the share. That's why they already fall to the month, like beginning of the month. That's why I have that question. The team asked that.
No problem. I do hear you, and I also did ask a question, not the way you asked it. Maybe I should have asked it like that. Then maybe JP would have understood me better. So you've given me a better angle. So thank you for your angle. Now I know what I should ask. So I will ask that and hopefully get a better answer for you. All right. So thank you for that. All right, and well done. Well done on your business partner, if I can call it that, bought 1,000 shares. That I saw that was amazing. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well done.
Looking so good. Thank you.
No, well done. All right. All right. Thank you. All right, so folks, Rafiwa, please ask your question. Sorry, Chris, we'll get to you now. Or Rafiwa, you want to let Chris go and then we can get to you?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask if you can check your other computer if it's on. Maybe if you can just mute it. Because I heard you saying you have another computer or something.
No, I'm not on Zoom. I'm not on Zoom. I meant I was checking the gold price and the website. I'm not on Zoom.
Oh, okay, because there's this echo, so some of the things we can't hear when, I don't know, on my side, I can't hear when people are asking questions.
Okay, try now. It's because I'm using speakers, and I think the speakers are echoing.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I won't hear you people as well. If I'm just talking and I don't get any audio, I'm not going to hear. So unfortunately,
I get you.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, let
it might
Chris
be
speak
something
then.
to do with that. All right. Let's allow Chris quickly. Chris, you can unmute yourself and then ask your question, my friend, or give your comment or whatever it is.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, my friend.
Okay. Now it's just a good presentation. I just want to say big up for the presentation. My question is this: I have a friend. I've explained to him about Aureus, and he's very interested. But the thing is this: if you can maybe give me an estimate around, because he's expecting a lump sum next year March. So what will a share price be? Because he will only have money. He's expecting between 100 and 120,000 rand next year March. So what will the share price be then? By then, because I said to him, I'm sure there will still be shares available, but it won't be the same price. It will probably $300-400 a share by that time.
It's going to be a lot more than that. Let me just try and find the image that I do know I created. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me try and find it for you, and I'll tell you. Where is this thing now? I did create one, and I sent it in another group that I'm with. Share price. Where's the share price? Okay. So the share price costing. You say March next year.
Yeah, he's expecting a payment about between 100 and 130,000 rand that he will receive. It was some sort of
Okay.
I don't know what to call the word boodle in English.
All right. It seems like the price at that stage will be $800, which is close to 15,000 rand, which then
Sure.
means he'll only get 10 shares.
Yeah, okay. I'll tell him.
So to be honest, right now, what I would rather do if I was him, if he really can, and look, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take me up on this. Like, maybe just look into it. If he can borrow money right now and buy more than 10 shares right now, that money that he's getting paid there will be able to pay back whatever he pays now for shares. But he will make more money because he'll at least, if he buys something now, he will get a January payout already. And then the January payout will basically, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So I know,
Yes,
I
I do.
know
I
the
do.
lump sum. I know the lump sum is coming in March. But if there's some way that he can maybe do something before the time and get a few shares at least, then at least he will get something back. But then that lump sum can maybe just pay back if he loaned the money, or if someone borrowed him the money, can at least know that he has that as surety that he will be able to give the money back. But I mean, he can get more shares now at the current price with that amount of money than he can get then, if I can put it that way.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right. But like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to give you a better scenario if it is possible, if there's a way that you can work around it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. All right, Chris, is there anything else besides that question?
No, that's
Okay.
that's all.
All right, great question. Thank you, man. So yes, folks, it's all about positioning. It's all about when you come in. There we go. Someone receives a huge lump sum, but because it's at a later stage where it's going to be a lot more expensive to get shares at that time, it's going to mean that you don't get as much shares. Whereas if you could get in earlier now, and get your position secured a lot earlier, you get more shares. And that being said, we also don't know if the shares are still going to be available at March, because for all you know, we might get some big investors coming in and buying shares out, and the phrases might change a lot sooner and a lot quicker. So I'm only giving you a rough estimate of what we potentially think it's going to still be at that time. The price could already be $1,000 by that time. We don't know. Things can change. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. All right. Yes, well done to Sia Flora. There seems to be a lot of echoing going on. All right. Okay, folks. If anyone has a question, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I think we've come to the end of our presentation for tonight. I was just trying to see if Mr. Let me just see if he's in the presentation, because no, he's not. He's not in the presentation. Okay. All right. Anyone else with a question? Anyone else? Anyone with a testimony, maybe? Someone wants to give a testimony on the affiliate side of the presentation? Yes, Rafua?
Hi, okay. I have a prospect that just came a little bit later. I don't know, maybe she's still in here. Maybe there's something that she wanna ask before I can just before I can talk, before we can close.
Okay, her name?
Let me see. Let me check her name now. Just gonna tell you now. It starts with K.
With K. There's only one. Kwashu.
Yeah, yes, that one.
Okay. I'm asking her to unmute. Kwashu, if you can hear us, unmute yourself. Kwashu. Rafiwa, just send her a WhatsApp message.
Okay, let me see.
Alright, I'm just waiting for Kwashu to unmute so we can answer questions. If she has any. You know, on a daily basis, we speak to people on. I know there's leaders that are doing live TikToks, there's leaders that are doing live on other social platforms, maybe like YouTube and Instagram, even Facebook, maybe. You're talking to people and stuff like that, and you know, you will always invite them to these meetings and say if they have questions they can ask. But it always seems to be the case that when they have
She
the
will
opportunity,
unmute herself
they
now.
don't.
Sorry about that.
I'm pushing on unmute, but she's not unmuting. Or he. I don't know if it's a he or she. Kwashu, unmute yourself, please. If you're hearing us. Kwashu. Kwashu. Okay, let's go to Boyce. Boyce, unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, Paul.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks, and you?
I cannot complain. I'm a little bit sick, but I'm still here because you guys give me energy like a Duracell battery, so it's fine.
Yeah. Paul, just one question then. In the beginning of this presentation, I've asked this question, but I'm going to ask it again while VP was in charge of the presentation back then. Let's say, for instance, with regards to introduction, right? The mining starts and then miners get a gold nugget, right? You mentioned in the presentation, if you buy shares now, you'll be eligible for dividend only in January because it must work for a period of 5 months. But now, in the case of a gold nugget, who qualifies for the dividend? Do you still have to wait for the period of 5 months, or will every member get it?
Okay, sorry, boys. It was breaking up quite a lot while you were speaking. I couldn't hear the full question. I just heard you saying 5 months, and I heard nuggets, and then I heard a partial a part of the question. I didn't quite understand it. Can you maybe just try and stand still and ask it again? Because I didn't hear the full question, and I don't want to answer a question with only parts of it. Can you just try and...
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but yeah, let's hope it comes through properly.
Okay, let's try again.
Yeah, sorry about that, yeah.
All right. Production starts. Right?
Yes.
They find a gold nugget while mining. Right? Who qualifies for the dividend? Because according to my understanding, let's say you purchase shares now, this month, you will only be eligible for a dividend in January. Now, in the case of a gold nugget, will every member get a dividend, or is it only certain individuals that have bought shares maybe less will get a dividend each year?
Okay. So if I understand your question, you're asking if everyone is going to share in a gold nugget being taken out now, irrespective of whether they're 5 months waiting or not 5 months waiting. That's the gist of the question, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think I don't want to be rude, but you're contradicting yourself, because the rule is all of us, doesn't matter who we are, whenever you buy shares, there is that 5 month waiting period. So it's only those that are eligible. If that gold nugget was found now and it's going to be, let's say, paid out in October, all right, because it's in this phase now, in this 5 months, and let's say it comes out of the ground and it's going to be paid out in October. Everyone that is eligible in October is then going to be part of that gold nugget's price, or should I say profit, that was found in that time when the gold mining happened in that quarter, if I can put it that way. All right. So yes, we all as shareholders own piece of the business, but the rule is, and it came into play in January, that we have to wait 5 months for our first dividend. So even though, let's say, good mining happened in your 5 months, you've still got to wait until your 5 months after your purchase, right? So each purchase you make, because you can do multiple purchases, it doesn't mean that you're only allowed to purchase once. You can buy 10 shares today, and then at the end of this month, you can buy another 10 shares. Middle of next month, you can buy another 10 shares. End of next month, you can buy another 10 shares. You can do it like that as well. But after each purchase, you have to wait 5 months. Depending on when you bought, you have to add 5 months, and you'll see more or less when it ends. And then you have to then calculate if it's between two payout periods, you will have to wait until the later one. You can't pay out earlier than 5 months. So to answer your question, you have to be eligible and past 5 month waiting for you to then share in a profit if a gold nugget was found in that time, if I can answer it like that, right? Okay, is that answering enough?
Yeah, for now.
For now, okay.
Yeah.
What
We
else?
have a
What else?
discussion.
What else is unclear? Because I hear that you don't sound too sure about what I'm saying.
You see, the thing is, that for back then, I raised this question with JP, but I agree with you to an extent when you mentioned the 5 months thing. Right? Back then, there was nothing about 5 months being mentioned. All right, of the dividend that needs to work for 5 months before you can
Remember?
qualify for it.
Yeah, sorry. It cut out there, so I didn't hear the rest of that question. But let me also just explain to you. I think the reason you're asking is because there's 1.4 million shares. So obviously not all 1.4 million shares have been sold. And I think that's probably where the question's coming from. Because now you're thinking there are people that are shareholders. Why is the dividend not higher? The reason being, the shares that are not sold are still the company shares for now. So what happens is that money that is then still the company's money then goes back into production and then helps us grow the business. So irrespective whether the shares are sold or not sold, or whether I have them or you have them or Rafiwa has them or anyone else has them, it doesn't really matter who has the shares. It's the dividend is paid per share according to how much is then shared amongst those shareholders. But it's paid according to who has shares and who doesn't have shares. Well, if you don't have shares, it's irrespective. I'm saying it's paid according to your share, what you're holding. It doesn't mean whether only so much of the shares were sold, that means there's the dividend should be more. If you understand what I'm saying. So let's say the nugget is $200,000. Let's just call it that. Let's just put a figure to it. It doesn't mean now because only, let's say, 200,000 people bought shares, or 200 shares are sold, 200,000 shares are sold, that each of us is going to get $1,000. No, it means that we still have to divide it by the 1.4 million, and that's what we each get per share.
Yeah, I understand that part.
Okay. No. I just thought that maybe that's because I do know that same as what you're asking now was also what someone asked before, where they also sort of asked this in a different way. but they also had confusion because of that. And I had to sort of also give them that scenario because, yes, I understand that, there's so many shares, but so many of us, so why can't we get more? But it doesn't work like that. The company still owns the rest of the shares that aren't sold. And because there's 1.4 million, the calculation still works it out that whatever profit comes in will be shared amongst all those shares. What shares are not ours as benefit, or should I say shareholders, remain the company's money, but then that company money is then put back in to putting more wash plants out and doing more for the company, so to say. All right. Okay.
No.
All right. So anything? No problem. Is there another question, or is that the only one?
That's the only now.
All right, no problem. Thank you for that question, boys. Like I said, there's no stupid question. The only stupid question is the one we don't ask. So thank you for all of those that did ask questions, because it just helps us grow as a community and learn. Yes, Rafiwa, Naomi, yes. Rafiwa.
Oh, okay. He is asking if you can unmute here again.
Who?
Naomi. That
Naomi.
something. Naomi.
Naomi.
Yes.
Okay, Naomi, yes. Naomi, you can unmute.
Good evening, everybody. You understanding STS. I'm new here and I just called Upiwa. So I understood explained, and I think I to explain to me because the echoing in terms of following and understanding dividends are paid. Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
All right, no problem. So, thank you. From what I understand there, I didn't hear everything there because it was breaking up again. I'm not sure if it's the network on my side again, or weather, or Zoom or what, but I didn't hear all of that. But I just heard that you were saying thank you for the presentation. You called Rafiwa, and that you were clear on certain things. So I didn't hear all of it. So I hope if you do have a question, just reach out to Rafiwa or myself. It's not a problem. We can answer it if you still have questions there. But thank you for that. Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, man. All right. Anyone else with a question? Anyone else with a question or a comment or a testimonial? Otherwise, like I said, I'll see you guys at the top because the bottom is overcrowded, and I would love to speak to all those gold diggers on Wednesday. All the gold diggers on Wednesday. I would love to speak to you because we're going to speak strategy. We're going to talk some more potential training, and we're going to try and see. I'm not sure how many shares most of you have. But, we already said we want Team 50, but I think we need to raise that. We want Team 100 because I think we can get to Team 100. I think we can get to Team 100. Why are we aiming small? Like I just said to you guys, we're not a 4 Rand or $4 bottle of water. We are a $34 bottle of water. We are more greater in value than what we are putting ourselves out to be. Why are we still struggling when we don't need to struggle? Let's go out there and make this business work for us the way we know we can do it. So any of you that feel that you want to be on that train on Wednesday, 8:30, I will see you at the station because it's going to go chuka chuka choo choo. My voice is going away when I try and do that, but you know what I mean. Climb aboard because we're going to go somewhere that you've never been before. Folks, let's enjoy the next 2 days. I will see you on Wednesday, 8:30. We will discuss some strategies and we will see how you can take wherever you are now share-wise to a little bit better and 100 shares or more, and have a team that is performing like Sue even said. She has a team there. One of her members 1,000 shares. I mean, hello. Yo, can we all get to team 1,000? I mean, if someone's already started and showed us a way, let's all get to team 1,000. But let's start small. Let's start with 100 and see how we can get there first. When we know that, we can just duplicate it. So folks, I will see you on Wednesday. We will talk about the perfect 10 strategy again. I think some people didn't hear it the first time. We'll explain it again, and we're going to show you how you can go from just 10 shares or minimal shares and build it up to 100 shares in a very simple way, but we're just going to give you that strategy on Wednesday. All right, folks, see you at the top because the bottom is overcrowded. As always, you know, I just don't like people to struggle. I went through it. Rafiwa went through it. Many other people have gone through it, but we don't want you to struggle anymore. That's why we're all here for the same reason. We want to rise above our circumstance. We want to rise out of the doldrums that we find ourselves in. We don't need to stay in the hole. Climb out. Someone is giving you the ladder. Climb out and help others too. Because why? Our communities are suffering. Our communities are suffering, and it's no use you just one person and then you still have to help everyone else. Rather teach someone to fish than give them a fish. Because when you teach someone to fish, you don't have to keep on giving them handouts. You're enabling them, you're empowering them. And that is what Aureus is allowing us to do. Become fishers, not just eating the fish, but teaching people to do it. All right, folks, see you on Wednesday, 8:30. Adios, muchachos.